Our perceptions of advantages and disadvantages can be misleading. Advantages have disadvantages, and disadvantages have advantages, and it's up to us to find and create opportunities. Instead of meeting competition head-on, they rather settle for lower quality resource, and they are very good in optimizing resources.
It was Quest 2 of Physical 100, the Korean variety show on Netflix. Team number 2, which is made up of seemingly stronger contestants, picked team number 10, which was regarded by all other teams as the weakest. Team number 10, which had the most number of female contestants, was mainly made up of contenders who were rejected by other teams. In Quest 2, two teams compete side by side against each other, to see which team could move the most amount of sand between 2 points. To do so, the contenders will need to overcome steep flights of steps and cross swing bridges. Each team was given planks to complete the construction of a swing bridge and sand bags. The quest was set to test the overall strength, endurance, and sense of balance of each team. This is an elimination round, and the team with the fewer sand delivered will be eliminated from the game. At the end of the quest, only 25 contestants of the 50 will remain. The highlight of Quest 2 was certainly the competition between team number 2 and number 10. This was the most anticipated match, as the odds seemed extremely skewed towards the stronger team number 2. The contenders in team number 2 were even seen celebrating their victories before the quest started, with some asking team number 10 to prepare to pack up and go back home. To the astonishment of everyone, team number 10 became the underdog in the competition, beating their challengers in Quest 2 with a narrow margin. It was certainly a David versus Goliath moment which created a huge sensation in the media. Most audience were elated with the quest results as they shared their heartfelt wishes to the winning team number 10. Amid the euphoria of seeing the weak overcoming all odds to defeat the strong, this reflected deep competition psychology, which was well documented in a 2013 book by Malcolm Gladwell. David and Goliath, Underdogs, Misfits, and the Art of Battling Giants.
Apart from his collection of best-selling books, including The Tipping Point, Blink, and Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell has explored the ways we understand and change our world, and he wrote this book called David and Goliath. And no, it's not about two dudes fighting with slingshots and stones, although that would be pretty epic. Gladwell reframed the story of David and Goliath, offering new perspectives that challenges what we have come to assume about underdogs. The common assumption is that underdogs are unevenly matched, and have to overcome considerable obstacles in order to triumph. Advantages and disadvantages are seen as mutually exclusive. They are juxtaposed, and we are led to believe that if we are disadvantaged, there is less likelihood to succeed than someone who has more advantages than us. Gladwell argued that David had the advantage, and was therefore destined to win. Bigger is not always better, and it could be a liability under the right circumstances. From the perspective of a slinger, Goliath's large body size simply offered higher hit potential. Our perceptions of advantages and disadvantages can be misleading. Advantages have disadvantages, and disadvantages have advantages, and it's up to us to find and create opportunities. In social context, what we think of as advantages, like money or power, can actually work against us. For example, if you're born into a super rich family and have everything handed to you on a silver platter, you might not develop the skills or work ethic needed to succeed on your own. On the other hand, if you grow up poor and have to work hard for everything you have, you might develop a tenacity and resourcefulness that can give you an edge in the business world. Putting this into the context of Physical 100, Quest 2 is not designed just to test the overall strength, endurance, and sense of balance of each team. This quest simultaneously puts teamwork, organizational effectiveness, and team efficiency into scrutiny. What team number 10 lacks in terms of physical strength to match their opponent, they could have managed the different tasks more efficiently, and deployed the right people for the different tasks to achieve higher team efficiency than team number 2. As the show later revealed, As team number 2 evaluated their performance during Quest 2, the contestant who was tasked to complete the swing bridge admitted that he could have done more to salvage the situation. The camera caught few snapshots of him hanging quite helplessly around. Certainly, the task of bridge building was not his forte. If you are not already confused by the analysis at this point, let me throw you another jargon to spice things up further. Diversity of competitiveness. Virtually all organisms in the living world compete with members of their own species. However, individuals differ strongly in how much they invest into their competitive ability. Some individuals are highly competitive and eager to get access to high-quality resources, while others seem to avoid competition, instead making prudent use of the lower-quality resources that are left over for them. Moreover, the degree of competitiveness in animal and human societies seems to fluctuate considerably over time. There is no clear distinction to conclude which strategy adopted by the individual prevails over the other. A theoretical study published in Nature Communications sheds some new light on these findings. The authors demonstrate that the evolution of competitiveness has a strong tendency towards diversification. This phenomenon is called diversity of competitiveness from the evolution perspective. When competitiveness is externally favored, it can destabilize animal and human societies and in extreme cases even threaten their survival. To analyze the evolution of competitiveness, a team of scientists from the universities of Bonn, Germany, Bielefeld, Germany and Groningen, Netherlands developed a model in 2014 that reflects the idea that competitiveness comes at a price. In the model, individuals that invest a lot into being competitive gain access to high-quality resources, but the features making them competitive hamper them in making maximal use of these resources. In many organisms, some individuals invest a lot into being successful in the competition with their conspecifics, says Sebastian Baldauf from the University of Bonn, first author of the study. They grow, for example, weaponry like horns or antlers and do hardly feed in order to be able to conquer and defend large territories. This may secure them many matings, but they might get more fitness out of each mating when they would spend their energy on other activities, like paternal care. The individuals with highest competitive ability may not necessarily be able to make maximal use of the acquired resources, suffices to explain the diversity in competitiveness observed in nature. Conceptualizing this into Physical 100 Quest 2, Team Number 2, which is the stronger team, may be dominantly made up of individuals who invest a lot into being competitive on the physical aspects. They specialize in their traits and were successful to become bigger physically, stronger and more powerful. They represent the type that are usually able to compete to gain access to high-quality resources. They see the same characteristic trait in each other during this competition and willingly group together in the same team due to their similar mindsets. While they are good in ensuring their access to high-quality resources, they may not be well adapted to optimize the resources they have on hand. Team Number 10, in contrast, consisted of individuals who had seemingly weaker traits which they probably already encountered during the course of their lives, that is to say, they could have already faced some extent of discriminations for being female, or of smaller physical build. Instead of meeting competition head-on, they rather settle for lower quality resource and they are very good in optimizing resources. They adapted to develop more efficient ways to manage resources, putting themselves at more advantageous positions than those who are unable to optimize their resources. From this context, it may be an overstatement to conclude that Team Number 10 was the underdog, as Team Number 2 had inherent disadvantages that could be exploited.